people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us.
And I expect all of you guys to get involved with conservative media.
Do you have faith in Janet Napolitano to keep you safe from harm? These people are speaking it out here. They're letting you know what's going on. This is John Villarreal reporting for Conservative New Media.
So Rick, why did you decide to get involved in this campaign? What made you do it?
Well, on election night in November of 2008, I and the Democrats won the House, the Senate, the presidency. I listened to Obama and I heard what he had to say, and I knew what was coming. And I knew politics was always something I wanted to get involved in the future. But I was raised in a family, I had a career in the Air Force, it was always in the future. That night I knew that if I didn't get involved now and be a part of the solution now, it would be too late. So although I didn't decide that night to run for Congress, I knew that night I needed to start. And a little bit later, after some prayer and some thought and talking with my wife, we waited for the emotions to subside, and then January of 2009, when it really was a fool's errand and everybody was happy with Obama and George Miller and the Democrats, that's when I knew it was the right time to jump in and start. And little did I know that over the next year and a half, my chances were going to go from about 0 to in my favor to win this race in November.
Right, right. So you talked about the solutions. So what are the solutions?
Well, my number one issue, the biggest threat I see to our country and our way of life is the debt. $13 trillion now. $13 trillion, that's over $40,000 for each American citizen in this country. And it's growing at over $2 million every minute of every day. We cannot sustain that. And there is no plan in our federal government to stop it. It's over $1 trillion of deficit every year for the next 10 years. And that's as far out as they're looking. So that is where we start. We have to balance our budget by cutting spending and growing jobs, which is going to grow revenue. That is where we need to start. And by cutting the spending, we necessarily limit the size of our government. It's too large right now. It's too big, doing way too many things. We need to stop it. We need to cut that back. Right. When you have somebody like George Miller that's been doing that very thing, growing government, growing spending, growing debt, for the last 35 years, there's no way that old dog's going to learn new tricks. We have to replace him and people like him that have put us in this hole with people like me that have the skill and are willing to do the things necessary to bring us out of this.